Hi, it's Jeremy with IvyFi, and today I want to talk a little bit about the app that we're building. I'm joined by our CETO, that's Chief Executive Technical Officer, and basically what that means for you guys is John's out front with me, and he's also back building with the dev team, so he can bridge the gap between understanding and technical knowledge. So John, tell us what you guys are building.
So, what we are building is, for IvyFi, we've started with as the staking hub on Hedera. So, what did that mean when we sat and thought there? Well, we thought Hedera needs a nice hub for everyone to stake at. And just to start there, it needs something that's simple, easy to access and understand, and encompasses everything that's fantastic about Hedera. So, that was obviously a challenge straight away, because what are these? There's many questions that fall out of that. What makes Hedera great? What do people want? What does simple mean? And what does easy to understand? What are all these values that people are going to go into an app and think, yeah, this is what I want, and it fits into the Hedera ecosystem?
Also, I have to jump in here. John, you come from a background of red teaming, so you're used to breaking into things. So when you're looking at a network, what about Hedera makes that a difficult thing for someone to do, be malicious with? What advantages does Hedera bring?
Well, for me, what the advantages Hedera bring is that you have this built-in the Hedera SDK, being able to transfer and use tokens and manage it with, you've got single authentication, normal key transfer, you've got multi-factor authentication accounts, you've got time transaction scheduled, as they're known. And what it does is, it means you can actually use a lot of the system smart contractless. You don't need a smart contract to use all the system. Some of it you can just use, transfer, and manage completely using the Hedera functions that are built in. Now that is really, really interesting, because a lot of networks you would have to have a smart contract, and there's nothing wrong with smart contracts. They're a brilliant bit of coding, but once you've committed a smart contract, it is immutable. So then the longer it's out there, if there is any vulnerabilities or anything that brings up about it, gives people a lot more time to be able to work that out. It's harder to upgrade and everything like this. But with Hedera being a network-driven security, straight away being able to use the SDK, and as long as it's managed correctly, makes, as from a security standpoint, really, really, really interesting.
So for knowing that, what's the route that you? Because it doesn't sound like you're leaning on smart contracts with this. So what's the route that you chose to go using the Hedera network?
So when normally building on these sort of networks, you're looking at how do we make sure it's, we want to be decentralized as many ways as possible. We want to make it easy to manage and update for ourselves, and we want to make it Hedera, concentric. So what do we think about that? So we thought of this term. I've actually heard it in the Hedera network as well, but of smart nodes. So exactly what a smart contract would do, but we'd have smart nodes. So these would be initially on where we currently are now in the alpha and testnet phase, which will be just a few of them between the consensus members of nodes that validate transactions. They also use a thing called the Hedera consensus service, which is like a listening service that logs transactions and information on the network, but uses the Hedera network to do that, using mirror nodes. We'll be using that. And the Hedera token service, that's the one that will be able to transact. So combining these two things with nodes geographically placed in different areas that listen and talk and synchronize with each other, and then make sure the network works seamlessly across everything. Now that was quite a big challenge at first, but because it is on Hedera, a lot of these functions are already there. It was like asking for us to do this. Now, there's a lot of smart contracts to be able to use on Hedera, which does make it in a different way decentralized and immutable in a way, is in that it sits on the Hedera network and not servers have to be managed by Sunday. Obviously, that's a different way of doing it. And we thought we'd do this because it just made sense. And it means it forced us to use more Hedera functions than you might even want to. You might think, oh, I can use a smart contract with that. I can do that. It's like, no, we're going to build on Hedera. Let's build on Hedera. Let's try use everything possible that we can do that. And that just wasn't about the technology that the network brings to us. It was also the partners, leaning into them, like how do they work? I mean, Jeremy, we were sat there at first, we were looking at, and our Discord and everything, we like soft launched them. We just wanted them open and live, but not really hard interaction until we have, launch date, mainnet, good to go, and pretty much a product to show you. We don't believe we should be making too much of it until we've got that product to be able to go, which is going to be real soon. I'm really excited about it. So when me and Jeremy sat down and the consensus team, originally we're from cryptocurrency for a lot of years now, all of us together. All this would normally be like, liquidity offerings, ICOs, all this sort of thing. So we came with that in the initial mindset. But after sitting in the Hedera network, it's so built up for NFTs, amazing services to be able to launch your entire business practice, pretty much nearly no code for launching areas with other partners. So our initial plans changed. And we sat there and
I think that's an important thing in the blockchain crypto space. Like, you can't, just like they say, like, don't marry your bags, or like you can't marry your ideas either. Like, when something changes, you have to be willing to adapt. And Hedera is offering so much, and so many, like the people on the network are so friendly, and like everybody's been so welcoming. The guys have been great. Like, so much support. We love it. Let's connect you with this person. Let's connect you with that person. And so it's like, yeah, like this, we were going to do it this way, but like, let's do what makes sense and what is going to be better for the project, for the community. And yeah, it's been real exciting. So anyway, I didn't mean to hijack you there.
No, that's fine. And it has been as well for the guys. Like, Jeremy, I'm more like, get more excited, as you can tell by like all the tech stuff. And, and even Jeremy's been brought in with this by being able to feel like the support you've had. And it's not just that, it's everything from like the Hedera Foundation to like the Kabila team. They brought out the Hedera Dev Playground. Now that was quite before we were, understanding the network deeply and then testing it, pushing it to its limits, changing stuff, And like I said, I'm from red teaming, so I like to break things often, or when it's not supposed to do it. Well, can it do it? Can it work like this? Can we get it to actually work?
It's really excited about breaking things.
Yeah, I really like breaking things, but making sure that they fix and stay fixed and don't break again. But from that, then, you've got like the Hedera Dev Playground now. You've got the foundation. You've got this Hedera complete network of tools and services that actually come into Hedera as like a breath of fresh air, because it was so mature in that state, which I wasn't used to coming from like ERC20 based networks, because they are smart contracts. And that is a slight difference if it's just smart contract based, because you can have a lot more flex in a way of you can do anything nearly you want with the logic with that. But it means that then the support can be it's quite hard to pinpoint that support. We're having so much flexibility. With here, we've got X amount of functions. You can still use smart contracts and do everything you do in ERC20, but we do have all these functions. So we looked at all the functions that are already available, and then how do we change and adapt that to make it work for us? And that was an absolute breath of fresh air. We didn't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to start and think. We can create something new and exciting that works, that's clean and clinical, that people can understand, that works with what Hedera love, and keep their NFTs. Because our app's going to work in two ways, right? We're going to keep with the NFTs and make sure everyone who has NFT benefits, reduce fees, governance, and just affiliates as well. We're going to be looking at other partners and running their NFTs with ours, so we can have cross-platform NFTs. This is really what we want. We want to bring all this ecosystem together. But we also want to make it using for like the normal person who just wants to, I want to click a button and I want to stake. Well, you don't need an NFT. You can access all the services without it. We don't force you, but if you want to use it, hey, you're gonna save a bit of money in the long run, especially if you're a regular user. That's what we're really encouraging for. The one-shot user just thinks, I just want to try it. Try it. It won't cost you anything. There will be no barrier to entry through that, and that's what was absolute pivotal in the whole team. Everyone's got to be able to use it. It's got to be priced reasonable for projects to be able to stake with us, and for the community to use it. That's not going to cost them anything out of their pocket. And if you want to use the whole system like that, great. That's absolutely fine. If you don't and you want more, reduced fees and a higher percentage on your staking, if you want governance and actually be part and develop and be, where does our development team push into the next area? How do we get community members involved into that? Then join the governance, be part of that. But you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. It's all about encouragement.
I also think that Hedera really fit with what we're trying to do, in that we're trying to create a very simple, easy to use platform that's very robust. So it has all the extra features that you would want, and all the things that an experienced crypto person, blockchain person would want to use, but also that the first time user can go in 1, 2, 3, I'm staked, I'm good to go. Where even with the wallets, setting up hashpack, you can set up a hashpack in 30 seconds, a minute. Now that's not with a seed phrase, so I don't recommend that, but it's got that easy barrier to entry for people, but also all this functionality and all these extra features that other networks don't even get close to, So I think it really fits well with what we're trying to do. And I'm glad that we're taking advantage of the HTS and HCS and all the great different functions that the network has natively.
Yeah, and that's literally what's driven us to it, and why we're well. First, we saw a gap in the market. We've been able to staking service, and it's been kind of strange because most projects go, "This is our token. We want this to shine." Whereas us, we're we want every other token to shine. We want every other token to be on our platform. We want HBAR to do well. We want Karate to do well. We want every single thing you can think of to do well, because we want them to stake with us. And IvyFi, when we're developing for boosting staking pools and everything else, we want IvyFi the token. The utility feature of that is to amplify this, to give you better rewards, to give you more access, to give you more services. And Hedera is just building so much out at the moment. This seems like the perfect time to be able to be one of the ones first to market, and to provide other projects a service that they don't have. So we're not stepping on anyone else. We're trying to work with them to provide a service of a hub of staking for everyone at every level, whether you're experienced and been here since XRP 2017 or whether you've just joined last week. And we'll also do the video guides and everything to help you along with that. Because, we're a team of 4 people with some really, core team of 4 people anyway, of really, high skilled individuals. But we weren't always this way in blockchain space. We've been there. We've opened up an app and how much words for my password? What's a seed phrase? Why do I need wallets? Why didn't that wallet work with my wallet? And this is not what
everybody gets in. Everyone starts somewhere. Even if you become the most technical person in the world, you had to do your first keystroke at some point. So, we want to make it where easy, no barrier to entry, easy access, and just it's been great with the community. Everyone's been very welcoming. So we're excited to see, where this goes. John, how's the D app coming along? Where are we at and what stages are we right now?
Yeah, so the D app at the moment, we're doing really well. We're really happy with it. We've got the lead dev, which you'll find all on the website's information bars. Or if you want to, have a bit of background into us, we want to be as doxed as possible because we want to be able to have face and see us. So please go on the website to check for all that information. But our lead dev and myself, we've been working together. He's been concentrating on the front part. I've been concentrating on the back to make sure it all works and comes together. So he's got the front integration. I'm more concentrating on the smart node integration. And to be honest, where we're at is our designs are pretty much 99% there. We've got a pure design marketing, which is doing really, really well. We're happy with that. We've got, we mentioned the INO. Now, the INO, which is initial NFT offering, for those who are, been the network Hedera, you'll understand that. For those who don't, it just means that we'll be, having an NFT for offer, and you'll get the full-fledged NFT, the best NFT we offer at a reduced price, and then you'll also get, voting rights, everything else, and everything that comes with the system, and you'll get the same amount of tokens. So it's like you're getting the NFT for free, right? That's the initial thing. The platform then, where we're at the moment, the next stage we will do a liquidity offering, and what that'll do is that's for us to raise public funds in a way where we can literally do as many staking pools and give back to the community, and develop the app in a greater way than we can, push more into marketing, and be able to do a solid foundation over the next 5 years. If we complete our whole liquidity offering that we envisage, that's the next 5 years of some really good staking services provide for everyone without any projects even in it. That's just for giving it back to the community, which is then going to give us our exposure. It's going to help us be able to show that we're reliable for all the other projects that want to be on board with us. We're already on talk with projects at the moment, and that's really what we're at with the liquidity offering. The next thing that we're working on is obviously the staking. And we want this to be really simple, like you go on like a CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko or like a SourceSwap sort of thing. You have like a list of every one of what you've got. You're going to be able to click on there. You'll be able to view, these are all the tokens that are in there. And then each token or project will actually have their own page. Click on there, they'll have their basic information about who they are, links to all their websites. So it's like a little landing site for them as well to be able to link off, and then all their staking pools inside. We are working closely with another athletic partner that we will be launching their own service from them. And then we're also going to be doing like, if you're a project and want to be on with us, then what services do you provide? And the great thing is, how can we get your services, say your NFT, or maybe what your functions are, and working with our platform? So you don't have to sit there in your wallet with 300 different NFTs, right? You can maybe have one. Can your NFT from that project work with our project? Projects are willing to work with us. We've got one in mind already that we're going to be looking at that. It's going to come under our affiliate NFT program, because we believe there's one Hedera, there is one network, and everyone from everything that's invested or doing it for investment, or they're doing like even gambling, or they're even doing just for fun, as in the sport, like voting, or they're just doing staking, or they're just having their first try at crypto. Anyone on that spectrum can go, I've got some tokens here and something. What can I do with them? Well, with us you can stake. I've got an NFT for this project. Well, if your project's interested and they talk to us, we might be able to get you more back on your stake. Who knows? The possibilities with this is absolutely endless. And being able to talk to more people in the Hedera network has been really exciting, because they're so pro for us to be able to go, yeah, let's work together. It's not an enclosed book. It's not a closed area. They're like, let's work together. I've got this, you've got that. Let's come together, meet in the middle. Technically, we can do it, but technical is never the issue. It's always the partner's issue, and we're not finding that, which has been absolute breath of fresh air.
I think it's really interesting. Hedera has been very open. I think that everyone wants the growth of Hedera as a network, like to take over, to be like the next Solana that doesn't break down though. And
yeah,
sorry, a little joke there. But anyway, but I think that's the goal, is to everybody rise together and make this the network, which I think it's inevitable in the future, because no network can do what Hedera can do. Like overall, I think it's hard to say that any network offers everything that Hedera does. From the governing council, it's funny, I was listening to a podcast with the guys from Kabila from a while ago, and he was saying something about the way that the network is managed, and like the governing council, and he's like, it's the only network I understand how it's actually run, which is funny because I never really thought about that, but that's kind of true.
Yeah, it always seems like it's like a dark art, isn't it? Sometimes they're like, how it's run, it's like, you don't need to know how it's run, it just works. I mean, sometimes ignorance can be bliss, but I think if you're like I said, for all the various reasons why you're in crypto, if you're interested in a network, being able to put a face and a really look, even the consensus and the voting systems, like the simplicity and what we're trying to build, just match the Hedera network straight away, because it works like that. It has people, you know what I mean? And I'm a inherently, Jeremy will let you know, I'm inherently a tech person, and it's so people orientated, and that's also a breath of fresh air, because I can talk to somebody, I can get a good answer, and I can get one that doesn't feel like I'm a chore. They want to help, they want to be forthcoming, and that's exactly what we want to be at IvyFi. You know what I mean? We want to be that as well, but with everyone, from the first click, I've got a wallet, to the hardcore, you know what I mean, degenerate G-Gen crypto person who lives and breathes this every day, like us in our consensus at the moment.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're up to, and we're really excited. The tech's coming right along, and want to thank everybody for being so welcoming to the Hedera network. And we'll be putting out a lot more content like this, a lot more information, and just chatting and stuff. So hopefully you'll tune in and check that out. John, you have any last words you want to leave?
Like Jeremy said, thanks to everyone. You know who you are. It's all going to become apparent real soon. All I'd say is start listen out to our socials, get on the website. On the website's IvyFi.io. Have a look at the light paper. Yeah, we're quite proud of that, because it's a really easy way of pulling all the main information out of the white paper. So it's quite simplistic, and you can see everything. It's nice. I can view it, understand. Don't have to dive into like a really deep white paper. But if you do scroll down to the bottom of the white paper, the white paper, that's a mouthful. But the white paper is on the bottom of that. Yeah. The white paper is on the bottom there. Have a read, have a feel for it. You'll see us all on there. Find all your information, and we're just really looking forward to getting on there. We've got some social services coming out from ourselves as well, and we just want to get you talking to us, building together. And let's do this. Let's get this staking service up and running.
Let's do this. Anyway, well, we'll be back in touch. And until next time, I'm Jeremy, and that's DeFi John. Have a great day.